Have you ever watched a movie and seen a giant robot transform into a car or a superhero fly through a city? You know it is not real, but for a moment your brain believes it. These impossible moments are everywhere in modern films, from huge space battles to talking animals and magical creatures. But how do filmmakers create things that simply do not exist in our world? The answer is a powerful blend of art and technology called CGI, which stands for computer-generated imagery. It is the secret tool that brings fantasy to life on screen. Imagine you are sitting in a movie theater, watching your favorite hero fight a terrifying dragon. The fire, the scales, the way its giant wings beat the air, it all looks completely real. But when the director yelled, "Action!" there was no dragon on set. The actor was likely looking at a green screen, a tennis ball on a stick, or maybe nothing at all. This is the hidden challenge of modern filmmaking. How do you take an empty space and fill it with a creature so convincing that the audience feels the danger and excitement? The process begins not with a camera, but with a computer and an artist. The first step is called 3D modeling. This is like sculpting, but with digital clay instead of real clay. Using special software, an artist builds the creature or object from scratch. They start with a simple shape like a sphere or a cube, and slowly pull, push, and stretch it into the detailed form of a dragon, a spaceship, or a futuristic city. Every horn, tooth, and scale is carefully crafted in a 3D digital space. The result is a wireframe model, which looks like a complex digital skeleton of the final object. But a wireframe dragon does not look very scary. It needs skin. The next step is called texturing. Artists paint the model, giving it color, patterns, and texture. This is where the dragon gets its rough, scaly skin, or a robot gets its shiny, metallic surface. They use digital paintbrushes and photos of real-world textures, like lizard skin or rusty metal, to make it look believable. Every detail matters. Is the surface wet or dry? Is it rough or smooth? These decisions help trick our eyes into believing the object is real. Now we have a detailed model that looks like a statue. But a dragon needs to move, breathe, and fly. This is where rigging comes in. Rigging is the process of creating a digital skeleton inside the 3D model. Artists add bones, joints, and controls that allow an animator to move the character. Think of it like a marionette puppet. The rigger builds the strings and handles, and the animator is the puppeteer who pulls those strings to create a performance. Once the rig is built, the animators get to work. Their job is to bring the character to life. They pose the model frame by frame, creating every movement from a slight twitch of an eye to a powerful flap of a wing. Animators study the movement of real animals to understand how a massive creature might move. They think about weight, balance, and emotion to make the performance believable. So now we have a fully animated dragon, but it still exists in a blank, digital world. It needs to be placed into the scene that was filmed with the real actors. This crucial step is called compositing. Artists take the live-action footage and the CGI animation and layer them together. Remember that green screen? Special software can instantly remove the green color, leaving a blank space where the digital character can be perfectly placed. But just dropping it in is not enough. The most important part is making it look like it truly belongs there. This is all about light and shadow. Artists have to match the lighting of the real world set perfectly. If the sun was coming from the left in the real shot, the CGI dragon must have shadows on its right side. They add digital shadows that the dragon casts onto the ground and onto the actors. They also add reflections onto the dragon's skin from the real environment. It is this careful attention to light that sells the illusion. Without it, the CG I would look like a sticker pasted onto the film. Finally, after all that work, there is one last step. It is called rendering. This is when the computer takes all the information, the model, the textures, the animation, and the lighting, and calculates the final image for every single frame. This process is incredibly demanding. For a single complex scene in a movie, it can take powerful computers hours or even days to render just 1 second of footage. Huge groups of computers, called render farms, work together day and night to process all the frames needed for the final film. They create the finished pixels that you see on the screen, turning months of artistic and technical work into a few seconds of movie magic. So what starts as an idea in a writer's head becomes a sketch, then a digital sculpture, then a puppet, an animation, and finally, a seamless part of our world. From the water in an animated movie to the destruction of a city by an alien spaceship, each element is built with this same incredible process. What is amazing is that CGI is not just one skill. It is a collaboration of many different talents. It requires sculptors, painters, animators, lighting experts, and programmers all working together. It proves that technology is not separate from art. Instead, it can be a powerful paintbrush, a chisel, or a stage for creating things nobody has ever seen before. The math that calculates light and shadow is just as important as the artist's eye for color and movement. Science and creativity become partners. Every incredible visual you see is the result of solving thousands of tiny problems. How does fur move in the wind? How does fire flicker? How does light reflect off a curved surface? So the next time you watch a movie and see something impossible, you will know the secret behind it. You will see the layers of digital artistry and technical problem solving. You are not just watching a story. You are watching a symphony of code, art, and imagination playing out in front of your eyes. The world around you is full of hidden science and engineering, and sometimes it is used to build worlds that only exist in our dreams.